Hi there, friends. It's Leah with Pinkfresh. I hope you're having a good day so far. I am just going to give this a couple minutes to let everybody find us. Um, and then we will create a card. Hi, Heather. I hope that you've had a great start to your week so far. Hi, Christy. Thanks for joining us today. Hi, Laura. So it was a real busy weekend with World Card Making Day, and then I had an event that I taught at on Sunday. So just felt like I was crafty all weekend long. Hi, Vicky and Flora and Cindy. Hi, Judy and Diane. Hi, Daniel and Malvina. So many people joining on. I'm so excited to see you guys here. Hello, Kitty. And Patricia. Welcome, guys, and welcome, Debbie. All right, lots of people finding us, lots of people joining on. So excited to see you guys here today. So today, I am kind of taking a pivot from ink blending and layering stencils because I did so much of that over the weekend. And we're going to play around with some of our washi tape today, which I'm really excited about. Hi there, friends. So excited to see you here. Just so you guys know, I have a little dog who I think I might have to help inside in just a couple of minutes. So if I excuse myself for a minute, that's why. Thank you, Terry. I'm glad you enjoyed class this weekend. We had a fun time, even though it was really fast. All right, so before we get this camera flipped around and we get going on creating a card today. So today I'm going to use our Lemons and Blueberries washi tape, stamp and die set. And we're going to create a fun mini slimline. I know that lemons and blueberries kind of seem more summery, but I'm going to add in some grays to cool it down. And I feel like it's going to have a really nice kind of fall vibe to it. Someone's asking about giveaway winners. They'll be posted by the end of business today. So it's something I'll probably be doing after the live is over. Okay, so before I get the camera flipped around, let's just go over a couple of things. We give away a $15 gift card code at the end of the live show. All you have to do is leave comments. So just do what you're doing now. Chat in the chat feature. You can ask me questions. Once I flip this camera around, I see far fewer questions than I do right now or comments, but Heather is the person behind Pinkfresh Studio, and she will be moderating the comments. So she catches a lot of what I miss. But if we both happen to miss your question, don't worry, just ask it again. We likely just didn't see it. And if you're new here, let us know. We'd love to welcome you. We're excited when people find us. And then finally, another entry into the $15 gift card code is there is a share button. It's an arrow and it says share next to it underneath the video. Click that and share it. You can share it in an email with someone. You can share it on your Facebook page. You can share it in a Facebook group as long as it's allowed. Just make sure it's allowed. And then come back here and let us know you shared, and that is an extra entry into the giveaway. Other than that, we would love for you guys to give the video a thumbs up. Just that gives the video more reach to be seen by more people. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff. That just helps our channel grow so that we're able to do more. Okay, friends, let's get going. So I am going to get my camera flipped around here real quick, and we will get going on our card. All right. Bear with me while I get everything set up. And then I am also, going to get this on my phone so that I will be able to at least see some of the comments. Totally forgot to do that. All right, there we go. Let's make sure the volume is turned down. And we are all cut up and looks good. All right. So we are going to use this beautiful Lemons and Blueberries washi tape today. Hi, Carissa. Thanks for joining. Happy to see you here today. And so as you can see, this is our beautiful washi tape. This one doesn't have gold foil. We liked it just as is without the gold. Thank you, Donna. That's super sweet of you to say. It was more of a Leah didn't feel like doing her hair day. So we all adhere this washi tape down differently. And so I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm sure I've showed it before, but for those of you that are new here or maybe haven't used our washi tape before. So our washi tape is 4 inches wide and it has these long panels and it coordinates with a stamp and a die. This one does not have layering stencils because it just didn't seem, they didn't seem fitting. But a lot of our washi tapes do have the layering stencils as well. So some people can roll this washi tape out and kind of roll it along their paper. I can't do that. I make a mess of it and ruin it. So I trim the panel away and then it gives me a little bit more control to put it on my cardstock. And I just missed it who said it, but someone said that this is one of their favorite parts of their Tuesdays, and I really appreciate it. That's a very sweet comment. So thank you very much. So then I kind of adhere the middle down first, and then I go ahead and I adhere the rest of it down. Now this is a stencil friend or stencil pal from Gina K. It is also great for working out any little air bubbles you might get. Our washi is super forgiving, so that is a great piece about it. And then the other thing that you keep in mind is we're going to die cut this. So if you get a weird little crease, like I have a little crease right here in the corner, that is going to die cut away. So I don't even have to really worry about that. You're never going to even see it. So this is our Lemons and Blueberries washi tape. Isn't it stunning? Now, the really, really cool thing about our washi tapes is they also have a coordinating stamp set and a coordinating one-piece die. Now, of course, I won't be using the stamp over top of the washi tape, but I am going to show you a way to use this stamp in the background today. But it's got some beautiful sentiments included on it, one of which I'm going to use today. And I've got the one-piece die that works with both. And I believe someone asked about mini slimline size. I will definitely go more into the size of that later once we start assembling the card. I believe Heather has also answered those questions in the chat too. So you'll get an overview of it twice. Okay, so then you have the one-piece die that coordinates. And I like to take a little bit of extra time and make sure that I am lining it up well, because this is a pretty big die. And so we want to make sure that we get those images nice and lined up so they'll have the nice white outline around them. So I always take a little bit of extra time. One tip I have is if you get, if you kind of stand up or sit higher up in your chair and really look over top, you can actually line these bigger one-piece dies up a little better than if you're trying to line them up and you're sitting further back and you're at an angle. So just a tip for you for getting all of these fantastic one-piece dies that we have been coming out with lined up a little bit easier. Okay. And then I'm going to tape it down nice and well. Okay, friends. So I recently upgraded to the larger Gemini. The verdict is still out if I like it. I think it's mostly I'm still just getting used to it. I do like it for these bigger dies because I don't have to worry as much about making sure they're edge to edge on my little Gemini thing. So I'll let you know in the future how it's working. I think mostly I'm just trying to figure out where it works in my area and my room. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut this. So I do have to keep the die cut machine a little further away from me because it's so big. So my voice may go in and out while I'm die cutting during my lives these days. Okay, so let's go ahead. and grab that. The plates are also very big, which I think I'm also getting used to as well on this bigger machine. Okay, so then let's go ahead and pop out all of these fantastic lemon clusters, lemon and blueberry clusters. It's as easy as that, friends, to die cut all of the pieces. Sorry, my little Cocker Spaniel's making her appearance known. Hopefully she calms down here in a minute. All right, I do like the thought that I can pass many more things through that larger die cut machine, but I do agree with you, Carissa, that the larger plates feel a little bit more cumbersome, but I think I'll get used to it. I think it's just getting used to it. That's going to take a little bit longer. Okay, so we have all of our fun lemon and blueberry washi pieces. We aren't going to use them quite yet. We're going to go ahead and stamp our background first. So I'm just going to set these aside for now. So I am going to grab my Misty and just a piece of white cardstock that fits top to bottom in the Misty. Oh, I didn't think about that, Heather. I should try that and see. So I think someone was asking if they feel like the plates warp as much. So I'm really good about flipping my plates each time I use them. And so, I mean, so far so good, but I've only been using this larger machine for a couple of days. So I guess time will tell. Susie, my dog's name is Sadie, that one of them. I have two dogs. I've got Sadie and Bailey. The one you heard barking is Sadie. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use the lemons and blueberries stamp. Now I am going to mention that the lemons and blueberries stamp is actually a little bit large for the standard Misty. Now we have a great video in our tips and tricks section by Shannon that shows actually how to use the top of your lid on your standard Misty for these larger stamps, but I am not worried about the top not stamping because I'm not going to use it today. So my main focus is making sure the stamps down here will stamp fine. So I am just going to let this kind of sit up here. It will bend a little, but it'll be okay. Nothing to worry about. But you also could absolutely break out if you have one of the larger stamping platforms like the Memory Misty. I do have one of those. It's just a little cumbersome for when I'm doing live videos because it's just a little too big for my camera angle. So I'm not going to worry about pulling it out today because I'm really only worried about making sure that the bottom half stamps perfectly. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this in Rocky Slope because this is actually just going to be a background for our card. I thought that it would be nice to not have just like a stark white or, you know, a single color. I thought that the lemon details in a more subtle gray would be a really nice touch to this background. So I'll probably stamp and ink it up twice here. Just to make sure I get a good impression. And as you can see, I'm not worried about that up there, not stamping, because I'm not going to use it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one more time. I do want to verify, however, that it is stamping enough for a mini slimline, and it sure is. So I don't need to worry about any more of it stamping. So let's just go ahead and ink this up one more time. I agree. I would love it if there was a slimline sized Misty. That would be fantastic. Right. I think we're good. I did not check to make sure my cardstock was tucked all the way in the corner. So if we have to do it again, that's okay. Nope, worked fine. Good, good, good. No haloing. All right, let's go ahead And just get the stamp wiped down and put away. Oh, thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Okay. Yes. Our next release is at the end of October. So you'll just have to keep on the lookout to see if there's anything foiling in it. We're not quite ready to start sharing any sneak peeks for October yet. Okay, so this is our background, and you're probably like, Leah, that looks like nothing right now. Never fear, it's gonna look better once we actually put it on the card. So let's go ahead and let's get our background cut out as well. And also, so I am using our Essentials Mini Slimline Essential Bundle for creating our Mini Slimline card today. So the great thing about having this bigger machine is I can cut my panel out. Just get some tape and tape it down here. Can cut my background out at the same time that I cut out. I'm also going to cut out a circle. Oh, it seems that some people's September release orders are coming in. Excited to start using some Ina alphas. That's going to be fantastic. Now there's also this great circle in the Mini Slimline Essentials bundle. And I am going to cut it out from some purple cardstock that matches the blueberries quite well from the washi tape pieces. Hi, Betty. I see that it's your first live with us. Welcome. We're so happy that you're here. So glad you joined us, and hopefully you will continue to join us for future lives. Oh, and it looks like we've got another person. I'm just catching another person new, Rose from Illinois. So excited that you're here. Looks like Carissa tried the smaller plate sideways through her big machine and it worked. So that's awesome. I do like the bigger plates for being able to die cut more things at once. That's kind of cool. I will say that I feel like the machine's a little slower. So I think it takes me a little longer to die cut everything out. All right, so let's grab our things. See how they turned out here. It's going to be a beautiful background. And then we've got the start for our sentiment. All right, I have to die cut again here in a little bit, but I've got a couple things I need to do first. Ooh, that tape really stuck to that cardstock. Okay. So I think I read somewhere that you have to get like an adapter for the foil press to work with the larger machine. So you might want to read up on that. I am still planning on using my glimmer machine for foiling, just because I get better results. Okay, so someone was asking about Mini Slimline size. So we base our Mini Slimline on a card size of 3.25 by 6.25. So our largest Mini Slimline die cuts at 3 by 6. But I wanted to show you guys real quick that the great thing about it is a lot of people actually like a 3 by 6 inch sized Mini Slimline. And if that's the case, if you actually look in the set, there is a second set of stitched and diagonal stitched rectangles. And these ones actually mat perfectly within that 3 by 6 size. So technically with our Mini Slimline Essential Bundle, you can do both. You can do that 3 1/4 by 6 1/4 mini slimline or the 3 by 6 slimline. You get both options. So today I went with the larger, the 3 1/4 by 6 1/4 mini slimline, so that I could use as much of that beautiful background as possible. Okay, while we're stamping, let's go ahead and actually get our sentiment stamped out as well. And then we can get that die cut and ready to go. And then we'll start assembling this card, making it pretty, and all of that fun stuff. We just need to find a little piece of white cardstock here. This should work. So Athena is asking if the mini slimline dies also come in standard slimline. And the answer to that, apart from the circles, but the 2 stitched and diagonal stitched rectangles, yes, they do come in standard slimline size as well. And you'll see them in our shop under the Essentials shopping tab. And I believe there's actually even a slimline section. Okay, so for the sentiment, we're going to stamp a sentiment from the Lemons and Blueberries stamp set. And going with kind of a fall grateful theme, I am going to stamp the I am so grateful for you stamp. Now I am going to stamp this in Regal Kiss, which is our darkest purple. I have kind of been on this kick lately where I've really enjoyed stamping sentiments in a color that is complementary to the card. So I think it's just a fun option. And so that is what I'm planning to do for this card, just to give it a little bit more color. Oh, thank you, Christy. Yes, you used the Joyful Bouquet washi tape at my Creative Crate class for Firefly Farm here in Minnesota. And so today you're getting to see the Lemons and Blueberries in action. Thank you, Nancy. Oh, and that actually stamped perfectly the first time. I don't even need an additional impression. You gotta love that, especially as someone I'm a pretty light stamper, so I typically need that second impression, and you gotta love when it works for you just the very first time. And it's such a beautiful sentiment. I love the mixture of the more modern, just standard font with that beautiful scripted. It's a beautiful mix. Here, and I'll make it a little bit closer so you can see it. And it looks fairly dark, but that is definitely a nice deep purple. Looks a little dark in the video. And just for reference, just so you guys can see it, here are the rest of the sentiments in that set. So as you can see, there are 4 sentiments that have that beautiful scripted font in it, and then there are 2 smaller sentiments which don't. Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate that. That's very kind. I love to hear that. Okay, so we've got one more piece of die cutting to do. I want to die cut this into a circle to mat on top of that purple circle we cut out just a moment ago. So let's go ahead and get this marked down. Now, rather than run this through that big, huge machine, this is why I have one of these smaller little die cut machines on hand. So I can actually just quickly run these smaller things through it. I don't have to use my big, huge machine for that. All right, so there is that. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. Yeah, I thought that using the dark purple would be a good change from just using a standard black. So I thought that would be really nice. So let's go ahead and layer the circles together. So I'm just going to use some foam tape. Oops, I kind of stuck those together. There we go. Yeah, I like the cute little die cut machines for the purpose of cutting just small things. I always have it near me if I'm not needing to cut out something quite big. Oh, so Marty is asking me what I'm using to press down on my Misty. That is just a press thing from Tailored Expressions, because I'm not real great about pressure, like stamping with very much pressure. It just helps me get that even pressure on my machine or on my Misty when I'm stamping. So it's just a little tool that helps me. Okay. All right. Yes, it's a huge roll of foam tape. I go through a lot of foam. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I buy the huge rolls of it from Amazon so that I'm not buying foam tape every 3 days. So it is a jumbo roll. All right. So we've got our cute little sentiment all mounted and ready to go. So while I have the foam tape out, we're also going to go ahead and just add some to the back of this so that I need to do it this way. This works better for my brain here, so that it is ready to go when I go to adhere down the panel to the card front. So I had created some full white foam adhesive sheets for mini Slimlines, but I used them all and I haven't created any since. So today we're just going with just the standard foam tape. All right. So there is that. So now we are going to work on assembling our card front with the beautiful pieces of washi tape. And Vicky is telling me that they have lemons and blueberries all year in Florida. That is fantastic. I mean, we can buy them in the grocery store all year up here in the north. I'm assuming they probably come from down south because we definitely can't grow everything all year. So I know for sure that I want the sentiment to go right in the middle of the card. So we're going to go ahead and pop it up. Now, you all know that I love dimension. If you were to recreate this card and you didn't want to have so much dimension, if you wanted it to be able to send through the post office quicker, or not quicker, just easier with less extra postage, you can absolutely use less dimension. So I just happen to really love to add dimension to my cards. So I kind of go a little crazy with the foam tape. All right. Thank you guys. I'm glad you love the washi tape. It is super fun washi tape. Okay, let's get this nice and layered. Just so you guys know, I think my husband is arriving home from work. So if my dogs get a little bit loud and rambunctious, that's why. And hopefully they will calm down fairly quickly. But I think I hear him out there kind of bringing in our garbage carts and all of that. So Melanie is asking if there are other Pinkfresh stamps that coordinate with washi. We do have actually an entire collection of washi tapes that have coordinating stamps and dies, and many that also have coordinating layering stencils to go with the stamps. So if you look on our website, we actually have an entire shopping section for washi tape. So definitely be sure to check that out. Okay, so I think I like the wreath, and I think the wreath is going to go on the top and the bottom. So we need to get a little bit of glue on the section that I like up here. And of course, I lost where that was, right there. Perfect. And I think it kind of matches with that wreath that's stamped up there that's on the background. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of liquid glue on the back of this. And we're going to glue it down. And I'm just going to give that a couple minutes to, or not minutes, a couple seconds to set up before I trim it. Thank you guys. I'm glad that you are loving this so far. I think it's going to turn out really fun. Terry, I'm glad that you love all the dimension too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Drefa, I probably said that very wrong. I don't think it's greedy at all that you want all the Pinkfresh things. I totally understand that. Okay, so let's go ahead and trim this down because we're going to use the other half of the wreath on the other side. So let's go ahead and trim that. And now let's figure out which section I want on this side. I think I kind of like it, although it looks a little oblong. Maybe just like that, actually. Okay, perfect. All right, Kathleen. Yeah, we're hoping that our stuff becomes a little bit more readily available in Australia too, because we know that there's just a lot of shipping stuff going on right now. One of the things that I would suggest for anyone that's international is if you have a place where you shop from for your craft supplies, is to just ask them, let them know things that you would like them to bring in, and maybe they will. So that's my only suggestion or thoughts on trying to make product more readily available is start asking the retailers that you shop at. Maybe even if you shop, somewhere that's not America, that maybe you shop out of somewhere in Europe, or just continue to ask for Pinkfresh Studio product, and hopefully it will start becoming more readily available. Thank you, Justine. I appreciate that. I'm glad you find it exciting that we have stamps that coordinate with washi tape. It is definitely super fun. Okay, so now we are just going to figure out which of the lemon clusters that I want to use on my card. This one might be a little bit big, but I could always trim it so that it kind of, yeah, I think I might do that. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. I just won't use it. But if I trim it, oh, I trimmed it too much. So I'm not going to use that one. I could probably use the flowers though. It was too big anyway. So I'll use that one on a different card. So I think we're going to use this guy to kind of flank the sentiment on this side. And then I think I'm going to use, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And kind of flank this one on this side. Let's see here. I might just tuck a little more in. Actually, this might be where this little guy comes in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. Don't be afraid to trim your washi tapes. Of course, I didn't do a great job of trimming that down the first time, but as you can see, you can tuck little tiny pieces in here and there, and it just gives nice added dimension to your card. Okay, so for those small pieces that I cut apart, I am going to glue those down with a little bit of liquid adhesive. And the really cool thing about these washi pieces, even when they are glued onto cardstock, is they're still pretty malleable. So you can actually fluff them up a bit and give some added dimension to your cards even with the washi tape. All right. Let's this guy kind of like that. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue just in the middle. Thank you guys. Heidi, don't worry about being late. We're just happy that you're here. And of course, of course, the replay will be available not too long after the live is over. Today, I'm just creating a pretty easy card. using the Lemons and Blueberries washi tape, stamp, and die set. I am not completely sure when the solid hot foil plate will be back in stock, but we do for sure have it on reorder. So hopefully soon. But definitely keep in mind that supply chain is always an issue right now. And so we don't always have guarantees on when something will come back in. Okay. So then we've got this guy. Let's go ahead and get him tucked in. All right, let's kind of fluff this one here. Oh, Carol, that sounds really cool. Coloring it the joyful peonies with alcohol markers. I bet you that looks really beautiful. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get some glue down the side here. And we will get this tucked in. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pauline. I'm digging the colored sentiment too. That has been a thing I've been into lately, and I think it is a fun addition. I think, yeah, this needs to be angled a little more. There we go. That looks so much better. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. All right, my little Cocker Spaniel is a little excited that my husband just walked in the door. So just bear with me if she gets a little loud. Oh yeah, I think I want to add this guy in here as well. Just one more lemon. You can't have too many lemons on a card that's all about lemons, right? Thank you, Terry. All right, I just need this guy the glue to set on this. So let me hold it here for a minute. Yeah, if you just find little places you can tuck, the washi tape is really fun for adding. I mean, you could even probably find places for these parts that I cut off from the wreath. You could probably find areas you could even tuck those little almost throwaway pieces as well. Okay, friends. So let's go ahead and get this guy mounted onto a card really quickly. I chose a gray card to match that gray background that I stamped. So once again, let's go ahead and sorry, I lost my train of thought. Go over mini slimline card sizes again. So I am using a mini slimline card that is 3.25 inches across by 6.25 inches long. Now, some of our dies also work with the 3x6 mini slimline. So you do have the two options. And I am going to, I think Karen asked about my cardstock colors. And Karen, I've been collecting cardstock for so long over the years that I have no idea what the actual color or brand is. So it's just a really deep purple that I found that matches the washi tape really well. So I'm sorry, I'm not much help on that part. Okay. Oh, that's awesome to hear, Betty. I love to hear that. Okay, let's just get that centered on there as well as possible. All right, let's do a little bit of embellishing real quick. We're going to do a little bit of jewels. I was thinking pearls, but I think I'm actually going to do jewels. And mostly, I think I want to add just some lemon jewels to the lemons. So let's see, just to have some subtle bling on here. Okay, and maybe on these ones I'll add them into the flowers. I think I'm going to stay away from the larger bling and stick with these smaller ones and just kind of add them at the base of each lemon. Laura is saying that she adds these jewels to 90% of her projects, and I totally am in agreement with you on that. I do too as well, Laura. So you are in good company. Actually, so I think on the little flowers, I'm going to change my mind here. We are going to do the ballet slipper, not ballet slipper, the lavender jewels in the small ones, the little teeny jewels. I think that will be a nice little touch. Okay. So Vicky is asking if I could share the difference between the jewels and the crystals, and I certainly can. I can even pull the crystals out here in a second. Let me just get these down. But just I can share as I am placing them here. So the jewels, which is what I'm using right now, are flat backed and they are iridescent. So you get that beautiful, oops, I have one more place I need to add a purple jewel. You get that beautiful iridescent finish on the top that kind of reflects the colors that are around it. And they're flat backed. So you glue the jewels down on their back. The crystals are clear and they are actually diamond shaped. So let me grab them real quick and I can hopefully show you that. I don't know how perfectly it will show up in the camera, but I'll do my best. So you will be able to see here, and of course I poured out way too many. They are diamond shaped. So they're great in shaker cards, but they're also great if you glue them down as accents on your cards. So what you'd want to do is glue them down actually technically on their tops, and that pointy piece sticks up. So that's the difference between our jewels and our crystals. Now we've also added pearls into the mix, and the pearls are of course shaped like pearls. The ones we have are metallic and they're flat backed as well. So, but they don't have the facet front top that the jewels do. So hopefully that is a good explanation between the two. Dee is asking how you attach the crystals, and I attach them just the same way as I am now, but instead of gluing them down on the flat back, I actually glue them down on the flat top. All right, so let's go ahead and get these glued down. And we're going to have a little bit of extra time. And so what I thought I would do, and you're going to have to bear with me while I grab them because I didn't set them near me, but I thought we could actually die cut and create the mini slimline envelope together, just so you guys could see it in action. And then I'll have an envelope that fits this card perfectly. All right. So there is my card for today. The little bit of bling on it. It's very festive. I love all the lemons and blueberries, and I feel like by adding the gray, it kind of gave it also a little bit of a fall feel. Okay, bear with me really quickly, friends, while I grab the mini slimline envelope die and a couple of pattern papers, and we will make a mini slimline envelope together really quickly. There's the die. And I'm not even sure which papers I want to use. So I'm just going to grab a stack and I'm going to flip through them real quick. And find one that I feel like will be a good fit for this card. My husband says blue. What he doesn't know is there's not 1 ounce of blue anywhere on the card. What?
haven't seen the garden.
I know you haven't. Let's see. Feeling any of those. Thank you for so Carol is asking if a card like this would go through the post office in the regular mail. What you would probably need to do with this card if you wanted to send it via mail is get a non-machinable stamp, because it likely would have to be hand, I can't think of the name of it, hand sorted, I think is what it's called. So that is probably your best bet for a card that has quite a few jewels and quite a bit of dimension for this one. Now, if you didn't use as much dimension as I did and only added the jewels, you probably would be okay. Let's see. I'm just not finding a pattern paper for this that I am super excited about. Let's see here. I could probably actually just grab a piece of gray cardstock and we could just make a gray envelope and that would look really nice. So let me grab that real quick. Perfect. We're going to go with a little darker gray. That looks black on my camera, but I do promise it is gray. Okay, so first things first, I want to give you guys a couple of tips about using the envelope die. Because, so you can start out and we will cut both of them just standard like this. Let's go ahead and tape them down. And I'm doing this the wrong way. Put them down, Leah. Okay. All right, I am going to go ahead and run this through my Gemini real quick. Okay, so you then have to die cut the panel one more time when you are creating the envelopes. And so something that I wanted to mention, so I am just making my envelope out of cardstock. So this doesn't really pertain to this card. But if you were cutting this out of patterned paper, let's pretend this was pattern paper and this was the pattern you wanted to show on both sides. So what you would want to do is you would want to flip it over and cut this piece out. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and do that because you have to have the opposite side of your flap. And so if you cut them both the same way, you don't actually get the two flaps. So you definitely want to cut the flap out by flipping your paper over and cutting it from that side. I'm going to go ahead and run this through my machine one more time. And Heidi is asking me if that is the full-size Gemini. Yes, it is. I just got it and I'm still kind of figuring out how it works into my area. But yes, I did just upgrade to the larger size. All right, so now that I cut that on the opposite side, let me get the big plates out of the way. The only thing that I'm gonna have to get used to is the plates are kind of cumbersome. You have this, let me get that tape off. On the opposite side. And so now you have two flaps that work for your envelope. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this envelope assembled real quick. So for that, you just need a scoring tool of some type and an adhesive. I suggest a good strong tape adhesive, a double-sided tape. I like the 8-inch score tape. That's typically what I use. And you'll notice that there are score marks that the die creates for your envelope that you want to fold along. So your left side flap, which is the one I cut first, you want to just fold on that score line like so. I did kind of a terrible job of that. That's okay. It'll still work. And that is what will attach to the side of the envelope. And I always feel like there's just a tiny little bit of excess up at the top. And I just trim that off. So then on this side, you're going to notice you're going to want to fold the opposite side in order to make it work. Oh, Carol, no, you don't need a full-size Gemini for the mini Slimline envelope. It's just I just happened to upgrade to that size machine. The mini Slimline envelope works perfectly fine in like a Gemini Junior or a Platinum 6. I will say though, our Slimline die, you do have to run through both of those die machines twice because our regular Slimline envelope die is quite large. Okay, we have all of our pieces here. So now we're going to go ahead and just add score tape to the inside of that flap that you folded over. I'm just going to go ahead and add it on both. All right. Okay, so we've got that. So I'm going to go ahead and get these glued onto the envelope for the first step. You just want to line them up quite well, edge to edge with your envelope. All right, and same with this one. I feel like I do better if I line this one upside down like this. I don't know why, but I just do. Okay, and so what I have found, because this cut on the opposite side, and sometimes you can get that little bit of wrinkling or the little bit of line impression that you get from your cutting plate, I always like the left side flap to cover it. So I typically will add a piece of score tape along that right hand side flap. The Slimline envelope is so fun. I wish I could have shown this to you in patterned paper, but I just wasn't finding a pattern that really matched well with this washi tape. So I stuck with just a plain color envelope. Maybe next time we'll be able to showcase a patterned paper envelope to see how fun those are. Oh, yes, and Connie mentioned some of those die cut machines do have extended plates, so that's always an option as well. All right, so then you want to add a little bit of tape along that bottom flap. And you have a Slimline envelope, friends, that you can, tuck all of your cards in. And if you saw even how much dimension that card had, it went right in. And then you can just add some double-sided tape to glue it closed. You can put washi tape over it, totally your choice. And absolutely, that would actually be a really cute little accent to add. You know, like you could add a little bit of washi tape to your envelope to decorate it. Super fun. So that is the Slimline envelope die. you can cut the envelopes from anything, pattern paper, cardstock. I think they would look really beautiful cut from vellum as well. You could actually probably even glue a couple panels of the washi tape onto cardstock and create an envelope out of that as well. You just want to make sure that you use really heavy duty adhesive for those ones. So there is our fun little card for today. I'm glad I got to showcase that Slimline envelope die for you guys as well, or the mini Slimline envelope, because our mini Slimline card came together really quickly. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and get this. Oh, someone asked about this size. It is 3.5 when it's folded by 6.5, the envelope size. 3.5 by 6.5 when it's folded up. Fits perfectly with both of our mini Slimline size options. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my camera flipped around and wait for Heather to pick a winner. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had a great time. I hope you guys liked my Lemons and Blueberries mini Slimline. I think it was quite simple. I really enjoyed putting it together and spending the last hour with you. Nanette, I see was your first time watching live. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm glad you found us. And yes, Allison, I agree. A great thing to decorate the envelope. You could even do a white envelope and add washi tape onto it. Okay, so I see we have our winner here. Congratulations to Carol Guy. You have won today's $15 gift card code. All you need to do is send me an email to claim it. My email is leah@pinkfreshstudio.com. There's no H on the end of my name, so make sure you just type in LEA@pinkfreshstudio.com. And give me about 2 to 3 days to answer that and get that gift card code over to you. All right, friends. Well, I am ending right on time today, so yay. I typically tend to go a little bit over, but we also did a little bit simpler of a card today. All right, thanks for joining me. So I think we have our normal Facebook Live on Thursday at noon with Heather. And then I think we're pushing our scrapbooking live by a week, and I believe we have craft hour this weekend on Saturday. So that will be a fun one. All right, friends, that's everything I have for you today. Congratulations to Carol for winning the gift card. And yes, you know, Facebook and Instagram and all of that were down yesterday, and it still seems really super glitchy. So fingers crossed everything works okay for Thursday. Here's hoping. Okay, friends, have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you Thursday.